We continue our walking tour, self-guided walking tour at the Westerlagarten Street. It is one of the very touristy street with lots of shops and things with pretty facades. On the guided tour, they talk about particular numbers. I am not sure which order the facades go in, but it doesn't matter because every single facade is very pretty. This street is so narrow that it's easy to miss. This street is so narrow and very easy to miss. In the middle of the shops, we just walked through and then I realized that we'd actually passed it, and boy, it's busy. This is the next stop on our self-guided walking tour. This street was made popular by the fact that there were bell ringers who used to live on this street. I think this is the rune stone that the guide talks about, and it's from the Viking time. And in the medieval times, it was called the city of Street of Hell because the town executioner used to live on this street. This is Stortorget, the main town square in the center of the old town of Stockholm. One of our stops on our self-guided walking tour. There is a Nobel Prize Museum. The Nobel Museum was initially built this building was built in 1778, and until 1990s it was home for the stock exchange, and then in 2001 it was christened the Nobel Prize Museum for to celebrate the 100 years of Nobel Prizes. This is the next stop on our self-guided walking tour. This is the Royal Palace. So I hope you're all keeping count of how many stops we've had, because the stops have not been in order, not in the order that the walking tour has suggested, because you see other things in the way. There are lots of tour groups. Of course, you can go into all of these locations, the museums and etc. But we would like to see all of the stops on our walking tour, so we won't be able to go into all of them. We are all being told to move behind this line. Seems like something's going to happen here right now. Oh, there's some more tourists that they're telling them to move. There are some guards behind the pillars. I suppose they'll walk outside. Oh, he's pointing the gun. That's dangerous.
Maybe it's blank.
Blank or not, he shouldn't be pointing to anyone. Ah, there they are. They were behind the pillars hiding.
Befäl andre män! Man! Alles! Halt! Rättning! Framåt! Posten, gevärspost. Jag har bevakat yttre borggården samt ingångarna till högvaktsstigen. Posten, jag skall yttre borggården samt ingångarna till högvaktsstigen. Posten, man. Tack!
Now we can step across the line. This is the Tessin Palace. This was built by an architect called Tessin for his own residence in 1697. It is built in the Baroque style, and these days it is the residence of the governor of Stockholm. The Royal Palace, the Tessin Palace, and the Stockholm Cathedral, and the Axel Palace based behind the cathedral, are mere steps from each other. Even though Google Maps shows you have to walk a certain length of time, but it doesn't seem to be the case. They're just all around one central square. This is the Axel Palace, and it's just at the entrance of the Royal Palace there. It was built in the 17th century for the Chancellor of Sweden, one of the most powerful men, but unfortunately he died before this was completed. It's built with red sandstone and plaster. This is the Stockholm Cathedral. I think there is an entrance fee of 75 kronas. But it's quite a different design of architecture for a church. This is the Parliament building. These are the front gardens of the parliamentary building. And this is the Swedish coat of arms. Apparently there are two parts of the Swedish parliamentary building. This is the old part, and I'm guessing behind it is the new part, just covered by a pedestrianised walkway. It is possible to go and have a tour of the building, but only on Saturday and Sunday, but they have to be pre-booked, and unfortunately we are not here on a Saturday or Sunday. There is a public gallery for the Parliament where you can watch the argument and the Parliament sitting, but I don't know how to do that. And even if they did, I suppose they'll be all in Swedish, so it'll be difficult for us to understand. Turns out that you can come into the front gardens of the Parliament and walk through, or sit down and have your lunch or read your newspaper. And that's the Royal Palace that covers the whole block. I don't think there are many places in the world where you can get this up close to the Parliament building. And that's the Swedish coat of arms on top of the door. This is the next stop on our walking tour, even though it is across the water and there is a pedestrian bridge, but you get a better view from this side, and this is where the Prime Minister of Sweden actually lives. It looks quite small from here, but I'm sure it's quite big inside. And it was built and it's been renovated quite a few times, and it was built in the 1800s. And the next stop on the walking tour is right next to the Prime Minister's residence, and it is the palace. Oh, the wind's picked up. It is the palace of the hereditary heir, and at the current time it is the home of Ministry of Internal Affairs. Looks like this palace is being renovated or refurbished. This is the rear side of the Parliament building, and the wind's really picked up, so apologies for the wind in the sound. This is St. Jacob's Church. It's one of the, as described, the electric church with its red facade. It started built in 1580s and it took about 60 years to complete. So it's got lots of different architectural styles within it, Baroque, Gothic, etc. There seems to be a lot of renovation, restoration work going on everywhere. This is the Royal Opera House, and it's the last stop on our unofficial self-guided walking tour. This was built in the 19th century. It was the first opera house in Stockholm, and it's right next to the St. Jacob's Church with the red facade. So let me know how many stops we did in the comments below today, and which is your favorite location in Stockholm to visit. One thing about Stockholm is extremely beautiful, and bring your comfy shoes because there's a lot of walking, there's a lot of sightseeing, and there's a lot to see. So there is no shortage of things to see. We had 2 full days, but that's nowhere enough to see everything. We didn't have time to go inside any of the palaces and museums. So if you like that kind of thing, allow extra time. So if you like this unofficial walking tour, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you next time for travel and review videos. Bye.